Okay, so this is one of the last, well, possibly the last video I'll be doing this week. And although it's a beautiful day, I'm doing this video inside because I did a video outside yesterday and I've been struggling with a microphone issue and a lot of people complained that they couldn't hear what I was saying, so I'm doing it in here in the hope that it's at least better than being outside while the microphone is on order and on its way, and I'm hoping that that's going to improve these videos. So there we go. This is a 1985 Honda CR500. It's in need of restoration. It's got good and bad bits really. One of the bad bits is that they've sprayed it, but in true botcher style, they've sprayed it while everything is in place. So there's overspray on the carb, there's spray on the chain, and things like that. So it's not been sprayed very well, so that's definitely something that you'd want to sort out. And then the other kind of there's a couple of one of the bad bits is the front brake. So obviously the front brake, the seals have gone or whatever. So anyway, the top is off the master cylinder. I'm expecting even if the top was on, it's not going to work right. So that's going to need a bit of work. And then the other bit was let's see if we can just show you. If you know about these bikes, so this is 1985. 85 was the first water-cooled year, and there were magnesium clutch covers, and it was a clutch cover, and then the water pump is here. And so one of the issues that happens is the magnesium corrodes, generally because people have been using tap water instead of coolant, and so that corrodes, and then the water then goes through to the gearbox, mixes with the gearbox oil. So there was no water in the radiators, and I could see, sorry, no coolant in the radiators. I could see around here it's a bit white. So that's what magnesium does when it gets in contact with the air. It goes white, and it starts like these little pinholes start rusting through, deteriorating. And anyway, so I thought, well, I'm pretty sure what the issue is there. I pulled the sump plug off, and there is water in the gearbox oil. But I do want to get this bike started, even just to run it for a couple of minutes, maybe less than that. So I've stuck a bit of coolant in, and there's coolant dripping down onto the bench here. And now it appears to be coming from the hose, this hose here. I don't know whether that hose is split or if it's got a hole in it or whatever. So anyway, so this hose is split, or it's got a problem. It's going to need a new clutch cover. So you can replace this clutch cover with a clutch cover off 1990 to 2001. These are still manufactured by Honda. And then it becomes an aluminium piece. And then you get a clutch inspection cover which goes on here. You'll have seen them, I'm sure. And that's what you do to fix that problem. People do repair these with like liquid metal or epoxy putty or something like that, and people do have good results with that. But changing that to the aluminium cover is really the thing to do. So that's kind of the worst bit really. The brake, this, and then the bad spraying. So I'm going to stick this. I'm going to stick this bike up for sale on a fixed price. I often stick stuff on auctions I'm going to stick it up for a fixed price for a couple of weeks. If it doesn't sell, I'll do a bit of this work to it myself. So I get a set of plastics for it, have the frame powder coated, do the bearings, sort the brake out, sort this clutch cover out, and yeah, just give it a general tidy up really. But then obviously it's going to be quite a lot more money because these 500s are selling for big money at the minute. You know, it's a flipping motorbike. Like, once you start at it, depending on how far you want to take it, they don't take a huge amount of time to do. So anyway, let's have a quick look around the bike, and then hopefully we can get it fired up. I'm not going to ride it. Obviously it's got no brake. It's got water in the gearbox oil. Yeah, they're not good things to do in relation to riding it. So it will just be a case of getting it fired up so you can hear it running, and then that'll be that. So let's have a quick look at her. So like I say, this spraying, some of it don't look too bad. It is the wrong red, as you can possibly see here, can you? So this is the right red. It's more like an orangey colour, and then this is the dark pillar box red, as I would call it, which they've sprayed over it. So you can see where they've sprayed the swing arm bolt. There's overspray on the swing arm. They've sprayed. There would have been the chain slider there. They've sprayed the chain. I mean, that almost came through as red, white, and blue. It would have been a nice, like, American flag style spray job, but no, there's no blue. There's only blue on the seat. Needs a new seat cover. Will need a new seat foam. The actual seat base, I thought looked all right. Whipped that off. Has got an air filter in there. It's going to need a new filter. Obviously missing the side panels. Quite nice to see that it's got the silencer on there, and it's got the link pipe that goes between the silencer and the expansion chamber. This is a separate piece. These things often go missing, but all of that looks in good condition. See if I can just show you a bit of that corrosion there. So that's the issue, but there will be holes inside there, which will go through, and that's where the coolant will be leaking through to. It's got mega compression. I'm going to tell you now, I know from past experience, this style of kickstart here does hurt, and sometimes it hurts when you're just kicking the flipping thing over. The later models had more of a curved kickstart, and they didn't hurt as much, and actually the later models had slightly lower compression as well. But this kickstart does hurt, and I've had a few of them actually go through the sole of my boot while I've been kicking these bikes over. Expansion chamber's not bad. It's got a few dents in it here. The underside of the frame, some of it's been painted white. There's a little dent there, but generally good. That's what you generally find with these American bikes. They don't get massively battered underneath, like our bikes generally do. That's the master cylinder for the brake, and the brake hose there. You'd want to change that. It's got a Scott steering damper on it. These things are worth quite a bit of money, but more for like trail riding rather than motocross, I would say personally. Forks. The left-hand side fork I've noticed has got some pitting at the top. Doesn't seem to be any pitting further down. Almost certainly needs fork seals, and you'd want to put some gaiters over there as well. Like I say, set of plastics, gaiters. Do something with that one fork, whether you whether you get a replacement or get them re-chromed, I can put you in touch with a guy who can re-chrome them. John at Case Suspension can sort that out for you. The front rim looks good on this side, and looks good. Not seeing any dents on it, and it doesn't seem to be split. They're the two things that I generally look for. So the front rim is fine. Another couple of dents on the pipe there. Nothing major, nothing major. The engine casings, the sides, it doesn't look to have had too much wear. Look, that's a plastic cover. It doesn't look too bad at all. Bit of overspray on the rear shock there. They always have, the linkage always needs the bearings doing. Possibly the top of the shock as well. Every flipping CR500 I have ever had needs the linkage doing. So it needs the linkage bearings, it needs a chain slider kit, changing that chain, rear sprocket, swing arm. Obviously there's a bit of wear on top of the swing arm there where they've been running it with the chain like that directly onto it instead of through the rubber swing arm chain slider, which would obviously protect it. Swing arm itself, it's got a couple of nicks out of it. You could file that up and make that almost look as though that's never happened. And then it's got overspray on it. These are just things that you need to know, aren't they? Rear wheel, I don't know what is all over this rear wheel. It looks as though it's been in something very white anyway. But the rim is straight, and it's straight on this side as well. There's no dents in it, no splits. Bit of corrosion on the magnesium rear brake plate, but it's not damaged in any way, but it has got this white stuff all over it. So there we go, that's a good look around her. It's got a spark, like I say, it turns over, it's got mega compression, so I'm sure it's going to hurt my ankle, this little beastie. So we'll get the gearbox check done, and then see if we can get it fired up, and then hopefully I can get it advertised on eBay before going and picking my kids up. But actually, I mean, to make it nice, it's not a huge amount of work. It would not be that bad to do at all, and so it would be a great investment project bike for someone to do. And I do think these things are nicer when they're done, you know, yourself. I personally get a bit of satisfaction out of doing that anyway. I know some people just want to buy them done, don't they? But each to their own. Each to their own. Right, anyway, so we're in neutral here, and down into first, back into neutral, second, third, fourth, fifth is the top of the gearbox, so we're in fifth there. And I turn the engine over in fifth. Yeah, just about. Down into fourth, third, second, and neutral. Right, I'm going to go and put the dog away, put my boots on because I've got my trainers on. I'm not making that mistake again. These flipping videos of people kicking these things over with flip-flops. You're going to flipping break your feet, lads. You are, definitely. I know, I've started a lot of these and they can be painful. Right, I should probably do a comedy bike starting video. Flipping, kicking this thing, honestly. It's not going to start now, is it? Look. It almost is. I comedy bike starting video in itself, look. Tech, a very, very big right leg, these things. It's only really running on the choke, although the pilot jet is clear. Just needs the tick over adjusting really, but sounds good. Just a flipping killer to fire. Sweat on there, guys. I've got a sweat on there for definite. We're kicking it and kicking it and kicking it before, and wasn't going. You'll have seen it was over top dead centre and then kick it, and then it was stopping because the compression's that high, and it's only when you get it to kick and go through that second stroke really that it'll actually fire up, but sounds good. It's just definitely got that clutch cover problem, so that definitely needs doing. I'm going to drain the coolant out of it now, just so no more of that goes into gearbox, and then we know, don't we, that needs doing. That needs doing. So there we go. 1985 Honda CR500 in need of restoration, but that's part of the fun, I think. Please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just search Phoenix Motos.